Well, hello, Joe.
Hello, how are you today?
I am good. How are you?
Great. This is exciting. We're recording during the day today, so that's
I
exciting.
know, natural light. How good is that?
Yes, yes. So,
So
and
this is
what is
going
the
to be a
weather in
good.
what is the weather in Melbourne today?
We have sunshine. If I zoom back a little bit, you'll see from my healing room windows. Look at all the light wanting to come through, Joe.
Bless, I love it. Yes, we have
And what's it
sunshine.
like?
Sorry.
Yeah? No, I was going to say, what's it like in Bello?
Oh, well, we've got sunshine, no rain because we've had a lot of rain this year. And we've got a little bit of a light breeze. So that's good to dry out all the dampness that we're
Yes,
experiencing.
yes.
Yeah.
Good,
So,
good, good, good. Now,
yeah.
this is nice. It's a daytime recording, so this is lovely. It's very special. So today we're going to
Yes.
do something special as well, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to talk about angels today and how they can help your life.
We love
Yes,
emails. We use them all the time and people talk to them all the time. So
very
this is good because you pushed me to learn about angels, Joe. I love this because I
blessed.
didn't know a lot about them. I use the handful that I use, but I'm actually going to look at this a lot deeper. I did a class many, many years ago with an amazing woman. She was
Hmm.
deaf at birth and she knew she was spiritually aware and she ran
Yes,
a class and I did it. It was just a one day. I've actually got the notes here. It was a one day all about the angelic realm.
nice. I like it.
Oh my God, it was so good. And because she's deaf, she doesn't communicate with the world, but she could actually communicate with the spirit world. And she was connected to all the angels and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of my wisdom's coming from today. Beautiful Lena. And if she runs the class, I'll let people know because it was such a good class just to learn on the day who to speak to,
Yeah,
what to do, and where to go. I love it.
absolutely. I think I've used angels all my life, but I and some of them come in all the time, and some of them come in just to talk to the people, because they're of their specialty that they have. But I would say that all of my healings are channeled through the archangels, I would say.
Okay. And do you have a set team or is it just whoever comes in for what your clients use?
Uh yeah, I kind of use like Archangel Michael a lot, Archangel
Mhm.
Raphael,
Yeah.
Lady Portia, Archangel
Ooh.
Mariel. And then
Ooh.
each chakra has a like a an archangel that looks after it. So when I'm, channeling the divine creator's energy, then I'd ask the archangel that pertains to that chakra to come in and heal as well.
Oh my God. So how do you know who's who in the zoo with the
Um,
chakras, Joe?
well, so Archangel Gabriel looks after the base, the sacral, and the solar plexus.
Okay.
Yeah. Archangel Shamuel and Archangel Mary looks after the heart chakra.
Yes.
Then the higher heart, which is like your, here
Up
area.
here, Thomas. Yeah.
Yep. I asked Lady Portia, who she looks after karma and justice, and she will come in when someone has overlaid possible karma from their family dynamics, from
Ooh.
their, um, or they've obviously, when they come to us, they've had somewhat of an awakening because they wouldn't come to us if they didn't. And
Yeah.
sometimes, I had a nurse, and when she came in, her aura looked like, wow, she's got lots of, I wouldn't say her karma, but overlaid with negative karma.
Okay.
And yeah, and so she was a nurse, but she was a nurse in a women's clinic that now it's not overlaid energy because it's always free will and choice about women's bodies and what they choose to do, you know, with their bodies. So the karma wasn't associated with whether they kept a baby or they wanted like an abortion. That's not where the karma was. The karma overlaid on her, which wasn't hers, was all the fear and the judgment that the person had on them from making that choice, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And so I
Yep.
was like, oh, what do you do? Like this, your energy feels it's all on you. And she goes, yeah, I do it because I like women to have a choice. And I get that. I'm all for choice. And for me, I have no judgment against what a person chooses to do there, because that's their thing. But for her, Lady Portia came in and it was like she just vacuumed up all the overlaid energy. And she took a deep breath. She goes, "Oh, that feels better." She goes, "I didn't know whether I could be strong enough for this job." And then I talked to her about Lady Portia and how she can clear it all herself. So I just diverted there a little bit. But anyway, and then the
No,
throat
but that's
chakra.
so powerful because I love that. I love that you're just showing our viewers how they actually come and work, how they
Yeah,
actually work with us through that
yeah,
experience.
absolutely. Then Archangel Michael is associated with the throat chakra.
Yeah,
Archangel Raphael for the third eye, Archangel Jophiel for the crown
right?
chakra. So yeah, and then the ones up from here, like your Stellar Gateway and all of those ones that are more connected to the astrals. For me, I call in Archangel Metatron just to keep them clear for the people. So
Yeah.
yeah, who do you use,
I love it.
Charles?
I use mainly Michael,
Yeah,
Raphael,
yeah,
Uriel, and
yeah,
Gabriel. It's like I
yeah,
did a healing yesterday, and the four of them wanted to surround the client, even though the client was in New South Wales and I was here. The four of them want to surround the client, and just they bring a grid of protection. Now I don't
yes,
know if I've got a picture. I'm going to see if I can upload a picture, because I listened to a man on he does meditations on here it is here.
yeah,
His name is Steve Noble,
yep,
and he does a lot of meditations, and he calls in all of the archangels. And what he
yes,
does is I'm gonna wrong one. I've removed the wrong one. This is the one I want. See this? He does like an overlay of
yes,
angels. So he
yes,
puts the angels of the earth plane, or he calls them the earth plane, around us. So these are the
yes,
angels that never came to, were never in life. Does that make sense? What he
yes,
does is he puts Metatron up the top here, but he also has Sandalphon down the bottom. So Metatron and Sandalphon are the only two angels that don't end in L. L meaning of God, because
yes,
Metatron and Sandalphon were from the earth plane. One was
yes,
Enoch and one was Elijah, and then they got taken up by God and turned into the angelic realm. So I really like this grid. So what happens is, like yesterday when I did the healing, there were the four archangels surrounding this woman, so she was in complete protection, and that
mm,
was amazing. So she loved that, and it just showed that they're there and they protect. So that's a really nice representation of how they can guide us and how they can work around us. I really, really like
absolutely
that. But they're the four that I use. They're the four main ones that I will use will be Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel.
perfect. Yes,
Yeah.
I talk a lot about the archangels in my book because I want I feel like they are really wanting everyone to use them more. You
Yes.
know, to help clear and to, because when people are more clearer, then the vibration on earth is increasing because we're not weighted down with our emotional baggage.
Correct. And I feel like the archangels won't interfere, they won't intervene until you've actually called them in. So
Correct.
they want that cue, I need your help, and then in they come, let's go, and they'll
Yes,
make it work for you. So yeah, you've really got to invoke them to make them work and be a part of what you need.
absolutely. And it's interesting, like, for example, with Archangel Michael, um, sometimes I'm pretty sure you probably experienced it, but I had a lady and she said, every time I go to my friend's house, I just don't, I'm not myself. I feel all weird, and
Hmm.
then I don't do things I regret, but it's not me. Anyway, and I said,
Yes.
well, the long and short of it is she probably has it's in her domain, it's her home. So that energy of her home is overlaying you. So I gave her the tool of Archangel Michael putting a beautiful blue cloak of protection around her to keep her safe and protected, and so she can stay in her authenticity.
Yes.
And then, when she came back for another appointment, she said, "Oh my gosh, that works so much better because I'm not flapping in the breeze with her friend's energy." She said, "I can hold my own, and I can speak my truth without her." When you get someone who's really opinionated and they can overlay you with their energy.
Yes. Yes, they block you. They just force their opinions and stuff onto you, and you're in a position it's like, oh my God, this is so dense, this is so heavy, and you just absorb it. Yeah, I agree. I often say to people, let Archangel Michael's wings cover you at the front so that he's walking with you so that
Yes.
nothing can come to you. Feel like, and this is him here. So this is Archangel
Yes.
Michael. He's got the big wings, he's got the sword, he's got the devil underneath him, he's fighting, and he's a very, very special archangel. Here, I think, I don't know about you, Joe, but I feel like Archangel Michael is the one that most of our clients will call in. I find, for me particularly, he's the one that our clients will call in most of the time instead of
Yes.
any of the others. He's their go-to. Do you find the same thing?
Absolutely. I think because it doesn't make me frustrated because I'm not judging others, but even my mum, who was not spiritual, we're in the car park and mum goes, we should ask Archangel Michael for a car park. And I remember looking at her going, we will not be asking Archangel Michael for a car park, mum. He does such much.
He's got so much more to do than find us a car park. So much
No.
more.
Yeah, so it was a bit funny, but I think he's the more mainstream one that everyone knows.
I agree.
And with the picture that you had there, so you can ask Archangel Michael with his sword to cut cords and attachment and overlaid energy for others. Every time I state change myself. So, for example, I'm coming home from work. When I'm in the car, as I'm driving out of the Alchemy driveway, I'll ask Archangel Michael just to I sort of say decord me, but some people might say cut the cords of all the overlaid energy. And everyone that I've had a conversation with today, can you please, decord me, cut away the attachment and send it back, Archangel Michael, in love and light. And that way then, you've cleared your energy. You're not going home with the attachments and conversations from that day.
Yes. You can leave it behind. You can cut the connection to it and it cleanses it. It's like, see you later. It is done. So, yeah, he's very special, ye old Archangel Michael. And as you can see, as you said, throat blue, he wears the blue cloak. So sometimes a lot of my customers will just say, I know he's here because I see this amazing blue light around me, or I feel this blueness around me. And I know at that point in time that Archangel Michael is here. Or if they close their eyes, they just see flashes of blue and the blue wants to come to them. So it's like, yes, okay, that's how you know he is around you. So he's a very, very special, and his main color is the blue. And as you said, the throat, and then sometimes higher, but very, very special archangel. In the Catholic Church, they call them not archangels, but they call them saint. So it's Saint Michael, Saint Raphael, Saint Jophiel, all of those types of things. So it's very interesting, and that's possibly why, even though we talk on a metaphysical level, a lot of people will see this on a religious level as well, because of the implications of them being saints and those types of things. So, he's very special.
Yeah, I love him. He's I don't muck around because it's very serious work, but
I'm glad you said that, Joe, because they're cheeky. They like to play. Does that make sense? I'm glad you said that, because I thought, Jesus, are they just cheeky with me, or are they cheeky with everybody?
No. Often, at least once a week, I'll say to Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael, do you think we're best friends yet? And they'll go, no. Only because I talk to them all day.
I love that. That's it. But that shows you the joy and fun that they have. Because I had once and I said, could you come and just help me now? And it's like, no, we're having a cup of tea. Just give us a few minutes and we'll get to you. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, you just take your time, or I'm sweating under pressure here. But that's the joy and fun that they have, because they keep their vibe high and they play with us. So very, very special. I like Archangel Michael. Very, very special. He's always the go-to, and I find a lot of my clients will come. He'll always be there for them, and they're the ones that they will invoke the most. So they just see the blue. Now, the good thing about him, he's related to a day of the week as well. Did you know that, Joe? All the archangels have days of the week.
Oh,
my
there
God.
you go.
So you've just taught me about the chakras and the archangels, and I'm going to take that away. It's like, yes, but he is Sunday. Archangel Michael is representative of Sunday.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So I didn't know, but I was studying for this little, catch up, and it's like, wow. So his Sunday, and his fragrance is sandalwood. So if
Sandalwood.
you want to invoke him, burn some sandalwood incense, get some sandalwood oil, pop it in a diffuser. That will help you invoke the energy of Archangel Michael if you're setting that intention. And the crystals that you can use are sapphires, sodalites, lapis lazulis, and like a blue aventurine. They're the ones that you're going to carry. So all of your blues, as you said, throat is blue, that he will work with. So that just gives you a different element with Archangel Michael. Different ways to use them. You know, on a Sunday, he's going to be more relevant, but he will be there every other day of the week. But Sunday is particularly his day.
Yeah. And I find it also really helpful to tell people about, if you've broken up with someone and or you've had an argument with someone, whatever the negative situation is, and they'll say to me, I can't stop thinking of them. I keep obsessing about it. And sometimes it also could also be that the other person is also thinking about it too. So you're both caught into each other because you both got each other on your minds, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And sometimes you can sort of ask Archangel Michael, can you please clear and protect me? But you say, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So if someone's, I don't want to say psychically attacking, because I don't believe that most humans are aware of that. I think it's more about, they're ruminating in the conversation that they had with you, and or they're upset and they're heartbroken a little bit, or they feel like on their throat chakra they didn't say what they wanted to say to you, if that makes sense. So just by clearing and asking Archangel Michael to clear you on those 4 ways, it just gives you protection and a rest from that. So then, sometimes you need a week of just to process what's gone on, to then get a bit of a clearer understanding. But you don't want their energy keep into you. Does that make sense?
So what do they have to say, Joe? Repeat what they have to say so
Sure.
that our viewers know what they should be saying.
Yeah. So you would ask Archangel Michael, please protect me. Please clear my energy first, emotionally, physically, mentally, and what did I say? Emotionally, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Clear away all the energy. And then Archangel Michael, can you please protect me, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and God, what's the other one? I'm in a moment.
Mentally?
Mentally, yes, that's it. So menopause brain today. So so ask him to protect you on all those levels, just so then you can get a bit of a rest. So
that's really good, because a lot of people are going through that at the moment, situations, frustrations, circumstances, and that's what a lot of people are feeling. Is you're thinking about the other person, they're thinking about you. So psychically, you're connected on a higher level. It's not in the physical level, but it's happening in the astral. And that's what you've got to correct and disconnect from. Not correct. You've got to disconnect from that level. And that's where Archangel Mike will come and help you do that. Oh, when I want to disconnect somebody from somebody permanently, and when I say permanently, just in this lifetime, I get Archangel Michael to cut the cords.
Yes.
And then I bring in Saint Germain and get him to burn the cords. Does that make sense? So that there's no way that they, because then you cut them. Think about it like this: they can come back together. But I get the Saint Germain's violet flame, and I want to say singes, so that they don't fit back together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's just like a double prong effect. So that's it. It's all good. It's all special.
I love that. I also just leave it. I leave it for a little bit, because sometimes I think, do they have more higher? If it's diabolical, absolutely. But do they have higher? Would they rather in this lifetime fix it than have to do it again in another lifetime?
Yes. Is it done? Is it done in this lifetime?
Yeah. So I do that too, but sometimes I let it be just for a little bit, because I don't know, just in case. Because for me, I'm like, let's just get it done in this lifetime, because I'm over it. I don't want to see this person again in another. So
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Good.
But I love both of them. So they're one of my faves. And they're also really good. Archangel Michael is really good for when you're traveling, to keep your luggage safe and protected.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've always got air tags in to kind of go, where did it go? So,
Yes.
but I also, before I put it on the carousel, or, I check my luggage in, I ask Archangel Michael, please protect all my luggage and be at the same destination as me in the same motel or as I check out, whatever it is. So
Yeah. That's good. That's a good tip. I like that. I've never done that, so I'm gonna try that.
yeah, and
I like
Saint
it.
Christopher, even though we didn't talk about him, but
Yes.
he's really good at
Patron saint of traveling and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
love
so
it.
and yes. So who else do we want to talk about?
Let's go for
Lovely.
the next one. The next most popular, it's like it's not a popularity contest because they're all different, but the one that I find that most of my people will use is Raphael.
Mm,
Raphael.
gorgeous.
Love Raphael. Healing, wholeness. So a lot of people that go through stuff feel like they need healing, and that's the one they call to. They call to Raphael. So when I do healings on customers, he comes and he's always front and center, and it's really weird. So if I'm at their head, so my customers are lying down,
Yeah.
I've got my hands on my customer's head. Archangel Michael will always, for me, be to the left of the customer, and Archangel Raphael will always be for me to the right of the customer. And what
Mm-hmm.
this one does, if he needs to pull out their body, so we've got multiple bodies, we've got a physical body, a mental body, emotional body, spiritual body, white light body, plus more. What this one does, if my customers are in particular trauma or really they've got a lot of emotional stuff going, it's like they're sitting on a drawer and he pulls out one of the drawers and he pulls out their emotional body and he can see, aha, this is what's happening. Let me go into that. Let me fix that for the customer. So then that'll take, 20, 25 minutes, and Archangel Raphael is just doing what he needs to do. And what I see when I'm seeing that, I see I've got my client in front of me, and to the right is a red body, which is the emotional body. And he's there playing in the emotional body. So as you can see in this picture, you can see here the heart space. He does everything from the heart space. It all comes from a place of love. So I really like Raphael. And it's really interesting because I sell the Archangel incense, and this is my biggest seller, more than Michael. It is
Mm-hmm.
Raphael.
Yes.
Everybody wants to connect with the healing. They want to connect with his love. They want to connect with the rays of Raphael so that they can have that. So, yeah, very interesting. Healing, wholeness, unity, forgiveness, acceptance, all of those types of things. Very, very special, very gentle energy. Yeah, how do you find Raphael, my love?
For me, he does lots of anything, like you've said, physically and emotionally. He also repairs the chakra system. So sometimes if someone, has torn their chakra, they'll come in and say, I'm exhausted. I can't keep my energy. So it's like he comes in and repairs chakra tears. Normally, I mean, if someone's had a really bad argument with someone, the chakra tear would be like down their body. But
Okay,
generally,
yeah,
if you've like fallen over or had a fright or had a small emotional upset, the tears normally like across the body, if that makes
okay,
sense.
yeah.
So
So something
Archangel,
small would go this way, and something traumatic would go this way.
yes, yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, so with Archangel Raphael, normally I'll ask him to come and heal every chakra, just to heal, clear, balance every chakra and place his beautiful green energy in. And I even say into every cell and atom of their body. Um,
yes,
then that's when I'd ask them also to repair any chakra tears, or any dimensional tears if they've had, especially if someone says, oh, I have really big dreams and they wander off when they're asleep. Sometimes if they've had a fright and crash back into their body physically, then they can have a dimensional tear. So
okay,
yeah, so that's where I would ask him to repair that as well. So yeah, it's interesting when you do the Archangel Raphael healing on people, and then when you go back to look at their body and you still see things there. I've had a few times where I've kind of gone to people and I use their finger because I can't poke to them,
yes,
So
yeah,
I'll often
yeah,
say, oh, just put your finger out for me. And then I'll say, just here, I wouldn't mind you having, just feel when you get home, is there anything there? Or, has there been anything there? Or I've had quite a few ladies ring me or message me and say, Joe, there was something there and you caught it. And it was only minute, but it was something that, um, even recently, there was a lady and she kept saying, I've got the worst, I think it's irritable bowel and no one can figure out what it is. And then I sort of said to her, when I felt the inflammation in her body, and I used a finger again, I went, it's right here. But I said, I think you have the endometriosis that's attaching to your bowel area. And that's what's
Okay.
causing
Yep.
the severe cramps and the upset tummies and everything. And I said, so when you go back to, and I said, I don't even know whether, is that a gynecologist or is that like a bowel person? And she said, I'll speak to my GP. And so when she went and got a scan, that's exactly what it was. But both of them weren't looking for that, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
So,
That
yes,
hadn't crossed their radar.
correct. So I think Archangel Raphael either alerts me or he clears off all the other energy so I can see what's going on physically in the body.
Wow.
And here's the other one where I go, do you think we're really great mates now? And he'll always say that he loves me and that, but it's very, very professional.
Yeah, well, that's how it needs to be. But it's good that it's fun too, because that way there's this playfulness and it's just joy to work with them. Imagine if it
Oh,
was hard work working with them, you wouldn't call them in.
no. So yeah, so I could talk about archangels all day because that's the basis of my healings, really.
But this is good because this is not something that I will use a lot. Does that make sense? I use the sky, I use the stars, I use light, different things. So this is great because this is such a eye-opening thing for me. There's such wisdom here, so I'm actually I'm loving this. So Raphael, he is Thursday. So on the days of
Thursday,
the week, he's Thursday. Okay, so he's the
Thursday,
Thursday. Green, as
yes.
we saw in the picture, he's got the green coloring. So it's all about, for him, green aventurine, watermelon tourmalines, or emeralds. People love emerald,
I love
So
emeralds.
you've got that. And because of the green, the fragrance, it's really interesting. It's pine. It's nature.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very special. So that's our Archangel Raphael. So again, get some pine incense or some pine essential oils, invoke that and bring that in. Especially, it's not just a physical body. If your home needs healing because
Mm,
of, you have arguments in that space, well, everything is energy, everything is consciousness. Burn that incense, burn that essential oil so that the home gets healing. I remember I had a friend, beautiful friend, and there was something going on in the house, and she said to me, the house just feels really, really unsettled. And we looked into it, and then it's like same sort of thing. Burn this, cleanse this, and then just the house will settle down. And it did. So remember, your everything is consciousness. Everything around you is energy. Treat it as such.
yeah.
I
And
love it.
also Archangel Raphael is really good because he works on the third eye. He's really good if you're trying to open up your clairvoyant eye more,
Uh-huh.
and to see and to all your clairs. So every clair, that I think there's 5 or 6. Some say 7, but
Yep.
I think 5 really. Yeah. So when on lesson 2 of my course, that's when we connect all our clairs into our bodies. And
Yep.
so Archangel Raphael on lesson 2 day of my course, I'll often say, oh, if you could be there all day, that'd be great, because everyone's going to be, oh, I can see it, oh, I can't. I'm not, this isn't for me, I can't do it. So if you can really stay and help me here, that would be great. So,
Let me ask you a question. This is just off topic. Do you find any of your students or any of your clients struggle with the concept of archangels?
no, I think because when I do, if they're coming for a healing, sometimes I may not say what I'm doing because
Okay. Yep.
I might freak them out a little bit, but they're happy to see
Yep.
me. So I
Yep.
often go, the guides cleared away this, this, and this. So just because, they're not skeptical, that's not the right word, but I could get them overwhelmed and they could over analyze what I've said,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I understand that. You read the energy of your client and you read
Yeah.
what they're able to receive and understand without pushing them too much. You'll have clients that are out there, it's like, yeah, Archangel Raphael did this and this and this, and you guys, whereas other people's like, yep, there's some energy here and it's just clearing it away. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't remember. What question did you just ask me then, Charles? God, I'm having a moment today.
Well, the question was, if any of your customers have zero belief, or any of your
Oh,
students
right.
have zero belief in the
Got it.
archangels and stuff like that.
Yes. No, some do. Some, I find it's the ones that have had something really bad happen to them. they've never thought they would come to a clairvoyant, and they are lost, and they just
Mhm.
we're their last resort, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Completely.
and
Completely. And then
particularly if
that opens them up.
yeah. So with those people, I kind of just gently open up the box for them. Um, particularly like one lady came, she thought she was going to be a psychologist for the rest of her life. And I
Mhm.
think that she's really amazing at her job, but she's just overlaid with such trauma from everyone else, vicarious trauma. And so,
Yeah.
at first I was just fixing her, but after I think I've seen her now 4 or 5 times, I've then introduced, okay, let me show you how you can clear off their energy. And yeah, because
Yeah.
said obviously
And
you
that's the
can't
thing.
keep going like you are. Mm.
Yeah, you gotta give them the techniques to be able to help themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So I actually
Well,
think
good.
next course she'll do my clairvoyant course, because I said you don't have to say it to your clients, but it's just so you can help them on a better level, you know?
Yes, I agree. I get a lot of people like that. That might be counselors and stuff like that, and they've got such a good metaphysical mind, but they don't
Yeah.
know how to integrate that into their everyday practice. And I was like, you don't have to tell them what you're doing. You can just say, "What if you tried this?" Like they're getting guidance all the time.
Yes.
What if you try
Yes.
this? What if you try it that way? What if you look at it from this angle or whatever? So you're not bringing in that spiritual woo-woo aspect, but you're
Yeah.
giving your customers a tool base so that they can look at their situations differently. And that's all I
Yeah.
say to them. Give them a different perspective. So then that way they feel like, oh, I can do it like that. I didn't think of it like that before. It's very special.
Perfect. Yes, I love that. So yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Who are we talking about next, Joe? Which now is
Um,
it Archangel or Archangel? This is the
yeah,
other thing. Do you say Archangel or Archangel?
I call it arc, but it could be arch
Same.
and I'm saying it wrong.
I'm
So
I'm the same. No, I'm the same. It's Archangel for me. And it's like when people say archangels, like they're not living in an arch. They don't do that. Do you know what I mean? But it's all
no.
good. Who do we want to do next, Joe? Who are we doing next?
Okay, so one that's not used a lot, I like to use a lot. I only saying it because lots of people's limbic systems are opening up right now, and their pineal gland, which is sort of like here, but there, if that makes sense, if
Yeah,
you could push them
yeah,
together. And that's why I think a lot of people since COVID are wakening up, and it's because
yeah.
this here, this limbic area, is waking up to like a little transmitter to more, oh, there's more here than what we're actually seeing here on Earth. So Archangel Mariel is the one that I call in, and this is debatable because I think that Archangel Mariel is a man in energy, but then sometimes there's literature saying that it's a female. So I don't know, I feel like it's men, but it doesn't matter which way. But they all bring in their magenta healing energy and just gently place it over the limbic system. Now, that's really good if you've suffered a lot of trauma in your life, whether it's from your childhood or from a relationship or a workplace. It's like they just gently place the beautiful magenta pink area over the limbic system. And it's like she or he, whichever one you want to say, is just gently, it's like gently raking out all the debris that's no longer served there in the limbic system.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
other thing that has come to light this year a lot is that with your pineal gland and your limbic system, if next time you are buying toothpaste, for example, if you can limit the amount of fluoride you have in your body, because they're now scientifically proven that it's like calcifying your pineal gland. So yeah, so
Wow.
I've had filtered water for many years. So if you can have filtered water, but not plastic in a plastic bottle, if you can. And the other thing that helps with the pineal gland, which also helps your third eye, is having lots of pistachio nuts.
Oh, that's good for the pineal.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Love
yeah,
that. Okay.
mm.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I buy it's a company in Australia called Grants, and they do fluoride-free toothpaste.
Oh yeah,
And you
we
can
sell
also
it.
get a Grants mouthwash. They can also get a Grants mouthwash, and I use those as well. And the benefit of that, this is just a little byproduct in their product, is they use what's called xylitol. because a lot of toothpastes have so much sugar in them. People are not aware that there's
Yes.
sugar in your toothpaste. And
Yes.
Grants will use a thing called xylitol, and xylitol is really good for your teeth because it eats the bacteria that
Yeah.
causes decay. So you're right. So you need to use a toothpaste that's not got no fluoride in it. And if you can use the Grants brand or whatever brand you find that works for you, but these
Mm,
ones have xylitol, good for your teeth as well. I'm the same, Joe. I've just put in a water filter in here. It takes out all the metals, takes out all the fluorides
mm.
from your water so that the pineal can be back to normal, and it gives us more intuitive abilities. It makes us connect to higher levels but feel confident with what we're doing and what we're suggesting and where we're going. So yeah, it's really, really important. Mariel is an archangel, I have to be honest, I've never heard of. So this is good that you've introduced me to Mariel, because as I said to you, I don't do a lot of work with the archangels, but Mariel is not one that I've ever come across. So this is good that I know that I can use her for this part of the body, and it's just like a little caressing with the pink energy, and she
Yeah.
helps move it away, or he helps
Yeah.
move it away.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
that, yeah, and I find that someone that, you feel like their energy is so ready for change and elevation, you
Yeah.
know, and some people don't even have any trauma, really, like they've had a
No.
perfect life. So I wouldn't call
Yeah.
her into every time I heal someone. Um, the Getting back just to quickly about Archangel Raphael, I just wanted to add this in. Archangel Raphael is really also very good if you have had, whether you've had a fright or a scare, or if you suffer from anxiety a fair bit. So
Mhm.
the vagus nerve won't ever move physically, like it's stuck in your body, and it starts at the base of your spine, and it's sort of like a tree root, so it kind of goes down your whole body into all the organs, and the last one it finishes at is the last nerve is at the anus. But when someone has really a big anxiety issues, it's like, if you had a fright and you go like that, it's like
Yep.
on the spiritual level or emotional level, the vagus nerve will sit here. So, and
Mhm.
they'll go, "Oh, I just feel so heavy. I can't." And it's like they put their hands there when they're talking
Yes.
to you. So when they're laying down on my healing table, I often will put my chair behind them, and I'll put my hands here, like it's really on their glands that they have there, and it's like I asked Archangel Raphael just to gently place, and it's like a pulse-like energy through and put their vagus nerve back to where it should be. So it's like I'm moving the energy of that fright and putting all the vagus nerve back to where it should be. And people will say, Joe, when I've just felt so much lighter and I could understand I could deal with life better, but it's because their spiritual vagus nerve was where it needed to be. Now,
Yeah.
the interesting thing with that is that I remember probably 8 years ago, Archangel Raphael said, just fix this nerve for me. And I thought he kept saying the vogal nerve. So, and
Okay.
when I looked on the internet, no one was talking about the vogal nerve because it wasn't actually a nerve. Anyway, and it was one day that our acupuncturist Matthew and I were in the kitchen, and I was like, "Hey, do you know anything about the vogal nerve?" And he went, "It's the vagus nerve." I went, "Oh, thank you." So sometimes you'll find also, Charles, that they'll ask you to heal things, and you'll be like, "I don't know what that is," but I'll just heal what the archangel's intention is. But I just
Yes.
feel, particularly if if you're an anxious flyer or you get anxiety about whatever, you can call in Archangel Raphael to help your nervous system relax.
Yeah. That's very important at the moment because everybody's nervous systems are on alert. They're always with what they see on social media and stuff like that. So if we can get their nervous systems just to be calmer and be, nice and peaceful, it'll just help the world be less on edge.
Yeah. Particularly because I think the dark is trying to get us to sit back into our fight or flight.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Keeps us
that,
at a lower vibration, keeps you in the fear state so
yes.
that you're not having any joy in life at a higher vibration. So you can't keep your vibration up. It's trying to drop everybody
Well,
into a
and
lower
then
level.
it stops you thinking of bigger things that the world could have because you're
Yeah.
in your survival mode. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't watch the news, but I'm just saying if it makes you anxious and keeps you in fear, well, then I would suggest not to watch it.
Yeah. We don't watch it. We haven't watched the news for a very long time.
No, I
Very
very
nice.
rarely even watch telly much because I'm got so much other
Same,
things I want to read or listen to or
same.
but
Good,
yeah.
good. Let's go to the next biggie. Archangel Gabriel. Do you work much with Gabriel?
Yes, and I muck around and call him good old Ark Gabba, but he doesn't like that either.
Gabba. Gabba. Bless. I
I
love
shouldn't do
it.
that. So yeah, and he's a big one. That's a great one that you've just suggested because our fight or flight sits in our base chakra,
Yep.
our survival chakra. So he's a big one that he'll come in and help me move out there when they've just, it could be generational through their family that they've been in fight or flight, or it
Yes.
could be, that they, so, some people are just worriers, like, they'll worry
Yes.
over worrying, and
Yep.
this is the archangel that I'll call in to help stop the worry
Yeah,
or the
guidance,
survival.
vision, inspiration. I like his gold colorings too. Gold.
Mm,
It's just like, yes, peaceful. I like this picture too, because I really like that eye there with the vision. I can help you see things in a different perspective. And that's why this is the crown chakra, sometimes the third eye chakra.
yeah.
Very, very special. This one just comes into my healings and will just sit there and just, yeah, offer some guidance, offer some different perspectives to look at so that the clients can actually feel, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was if I look at it from that particular angle or see it from a different perspective. And that's all this needs sometimes is a different way of looking at a situation, because when you see it from different eyes, you gain more clarity on it. You gain a different perspective. So that's why I really, really like Gabriel. And for me, much quieter than the others. Does that make sense? I don't know what he's like with you, Joe, but he's much quieter for me than the others. He's just like, I'll do what I need to do. I don't need to make a fanfare. I don't need to make a fuss. I'm just going to do it. So
Mm.
really, really interesting.
Very much so. And yeah, I feel like Archangel Gabriel, there's so much energy stored in our base, our sacral and our solar plexus. So sometimes if I've got someone and they've never been at all in any healing space at all, often I'll just use him a lot just to clear out the first three chakras of the
Yeah,
emotional baggage.
yeah,
Because
no,
whether they've had our first three chakras hold our inner children, and
mhm.
our first three chakras are our creativity and our passion and our sexuality and our empowerment. So he does come in a lot to help people with those three chakras. Mm.
And it's really funny that you say that, because I find most people sit in their three chakras, the base three chakras. When I have to do healings, they're the ones that people are struggling with the most: your base
Yes.
chakra, your sacral, and your solar plexus. So that makes a lot of sense. I'll start to be, oh, I think I'm calling him in to help me do that, because I try and move a lot of energy around those chakras so that people can feel more free and not
Mm.
have to feel bogged down and being in those chakras. So very, very
Yeah.
special. Now, Gabrielle is a Wednesday. Gabrielle is a
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Hump day.
clear
Hmm.
quartz, moonstones, or smoky quartz, and the scent is sage.
Mm. Good. Clearing out.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
clearing stuff out so that you see it from a different light, see it from a different angle or perspective. So, yeah, that's Gabriel. I really like Gabriel. I really, really like Gabriel. Those
Me
three, I
too.
mean, I like them all. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, me too. So, and Gabrielle's also really good where, like someone when they've got to step into their truth and really talk to people about if they've got to change directions in their life. Um, especially around if someone's discovered that they might be bisexual, or they predominantly, for example, a lady was married, had kids, and then, I feel like she fell in love with the soul of the lady
Mhm.
that she worked with. And it wasn't, because she kept going, oh, Joe, I don't know if I feel like I'm a lesbian. I went, well, we don't need to clarify that now. But I said, maybe you've had many lifetimes with this lady and you've just reawakened the love that you have for that lady now, if that makes
Yes.
sense. So
Yeah.
I kept placing energy over her, just to help her accept herself because she wasn't
Okay.
accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very special. I really like Gabriel. Really, really like Gabriel.
Love him.
Who do you use next? Because I've got Uriel, I've got Jophiel, I've got Shemuel, I've got Zadkiel. We've got so many, Joe. Who do you like? Who do you want to talk about next?
We might need to do part 2.
We might need to do part two because when I was investigating this angel stuff and the angelic realm, there were so
Yeah,
many more that I had no idea about. I mean, and
yeah,
then Marielle and all of these different ones, and it's like, wow, there's a
yeah,
whole different dimension of being.
yeah, yeah. And the one that has stepping in a lot for me is Miriam. And Miriam is, I think she's in a new ascended master coming through. So we might talk to her about the next one. But the one that I love a lot that is stepping through a lot is Archangel Shemiel for the heart chakra.
Oh, let's bring him up because he's gorgy.
Yeah,
Oh, wrong one.
Roman.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It was the nicest picture I could find, and I just thought, oh my God, it just says it on many levels, doesn't it? Look at him coming from the heart space. How gorgeous is that? Unconditional love, loss, relationships, to unblock and to balance and control your emotions, all in the heart space.
And it's really interesting, and this sounds funny, but when Archangel Shemiel does come in, I always think to myself, he's got the best arms in heaven, just saying. So
The best arms in heaven. I'm going to have to call him in. It's funny because I had an archangel that came in once and I wasn't really sure who it was. And what this archangel had to do was put 3 little diamonds into my client's heart. And it's like,
oh,
we did that seriously. We did it years ago so that she could see I shine brightly from the past, I shine brightly in the present, and I'll shine brightly in the future. Does that make sense? And that's what one
oh,
of the archangels popped into this woman's heart. And it was really, really interesting that X amount of years later, this beautiful client came back and saw me. And then the same archangel, so it must have been Shemuel, put the 3 diamonds together because she'd left a lot of the trauma behind. And she goes, he goes, now you're complete. I'm making it one big diamond in the heart. And when I see this picture, I just see this beautiful white light radiating out of the heart space. And that just took me straight to that client because the 3 diamonds came together to make one big diamond and she can just shine her light brightly now. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. But yeah, that would have been Shamuel doing that.
yeah. Often for me, he often brings in like into the heart chakra, like peace, love, and hope.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think they're the 3 in your heart chakra that you always need, like peace within your
Yeah.
heart, hope that there's always better, and obviously love, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that Archangel Shemiel. Now, I find from the heart chakra up when I'm doing healings, the energy becomes much more defined. So they are very powerful archangels, but they channel gently through those chakras now.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
Shemuel is a very beautiful, soft, loving, gentle rose quartz, pink tourmaline, rhodochrosite, all of your heart crystals, the self-love, the past loves, all of those types of stuff. And what would the scent be? If we're talking about a heart rose quartz, what do you think the scent would be, Joe?
rose.
Perfect.
Mm,
Rose. How good is that? How good is
mm,
that? So
yeah.
yeah, it's really good that we've got specific archangels that we can use for specific things. So that was beautiful, Shemuel. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to start using it because people are at a point in time where their heart space is needing that attention. Does that make
Very.
sense? Where they've been judged, where they've either judged themselves or other people have judged them or they've ended relationships. Shemuel might be really, really good to help that heal quite quickly.
And it's also good just to move along. He's really good at helping when people regret a decision with a relationship, or, I get lots of mums going, oh, I could have been a better mum. I made a bad choice. Or, they chose a man over their children.
Yeah.
He'll come
Happens a
in and,
lot.
sorry?
I said it happens a lot. People do that a
Mm,
lot.
mm. And so he comes in just to give them like a reprieve from themselves and to kind of go, well, you can't change your past. You can only make a difference now in your future. So it's like he also, because often people will then, if this is the future and this is the past, it's like they'll they'll be facing backwards trying to go through life. Does that make sense? Because of
Yes,
their
because they keep
regret.
reflecting on the past. They keep
Yeah,
looking back to the past instead of changing their focus and moving forward to the future and what can be.
correct. So it's like he will gently turn their thought processes to the future and go, look forward, my friend. We can't fix the past, but we can make it a brighter future for yourself. So
Love that. I love that, Joe. That's so special.
yeah. So he'll turn people around a lot. Mm,
All right.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Uriel. Archangel Uriel. Is that how you say it? Uriel or
Yeah,
Uriel?
Uriel, yes. So
Uriel.
yeah. So what do you use Archangel Uriel for?
This is
Or
nice. I see here in this picture, he's got the
yes,
flame, he's got the light.
yes,
So when I feel like people have had, they've been in situations where their light has been diminished, their
mm,
wisdom has been taken from them, I'll get
yeah,
Uriel to come in and help re-engage that spark inside themselves to help them
yes,
find who they are and bring that light back to them so that they
perfect.
can feel more empowered, feel more special, feel re-engaged. Because sometimes when you get quashed or squashed, you
Yeah,
have none of that spark left in you. So that's
yeah,
where I'll get Uriel to come in and do that. And he will also bring a nice sense to them of peace and calm and tranquility. So this is why I quite like Uriel in this aspect. He's also got a lot of wisdom. In my eyes, this man has a lot of wisdom. And
very.
when I need to get some wisdom through to my clients, I'll get him in. And sometimes I'll let him come through me when I'm holding their crown so that he can impart the wisdom into their head so that they can have thoughts that
Perfect.
are quite profound for them and create a shift inside them so that they can feel empowered, uplifted, all of those different types of things.
Yes, I love that. And I often find that Archangel Uriel is really good if like if you're a use words for your living. Like if you're trying to
Mhm.
write a book, or you're a journalist,
Yes.
or you're a screenwriter, or whatever those things are. I feel that he also helps with the written word to channel to make Earth better.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It
so
gives you
yeah,
the
so he's
clarity. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he's very special. I think he's very special. He's a Friday. He's a Friday. Um,
And
and his crystals, if you use crystals, his crystals are carnelian, ruby, garnet, or red jasper. So a lot of the
mm-hmm.
oranges and the reds, really grounding stones too. So that's the thing. To help turn the head off, I'm going to ground you a little bit. And tangerine is the scent.
Mm,
Now, see, the citrus scents are very cleansing. They're very yeah, you got lemon, citrus, tangerines. They're all just cleansing type smells that want to clear things away. I really, really like it.
yes.
I
He
like
also
Uriel.
helps if someone is not a very good communicator.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. And this is the
yeah.
thing. You don't just have to use one. You could say to them, Michael, come and protect me. Uriel, come and give me the clarity. Come and give me the wisdom. Jamuel, let me speak from the heart. Do you know what I mean? So you can bring them all in and use a combination.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. So yeah, so I love yeah, he's one of my faves. So he's in my book because I wanted to talk about him as well. So mm,
Good on you.
yeah,
Go you. So that
yeah,
leaves us two more that we've got on this little uh, lecture today.
yeah.
Jophiel and
Okay.
Zadkiel. Who do you want to do next?
Let's do Jophiel. So
Jophiel.
oh, Jophiel, beautiful picture. Look at him. Delicious man. So yeah.
Look at it. It's all of it. It's just magic.
Yeah, I like how he's standing on looks like a paint palette.
It is. He's standing on a pipe palette, and if you look at the halfway point here, you can see the musical notes.
Yeah. Oh,
Bless
I
you.
can't see
You
him.
can see the
Where?
musical notes.
Oh, in the blue?
He's very
Oh,
special because he wants you to see the beauty in the world. He wants you to
yes,
see the beauty in everything. So
yes,
it could be a painting, it could be just a landscape around you, the trees, the flowers, the skies, the clouds, or it could be the bird song. You see those beautiful notes there, and they could just be the beauty of the birds waking you up every day.
yes,
So Jophiel is a very, very special
very much.
angel.
And he helps with the crown chakra to clear away
Hmm.
negative thoughts,
Yes.
especially, we're all brought here with gifts and to be creative in whatever way. So often he'll clear away that negative belief that we have about ourselves in our crown chakra.
Yeah.
Mm,
Very special, very special. And that's what I've got here. That's what this beautiful class was. Awakening the wisdom inside us, inspiration, inspiration that gives you the confidence to move on. So, and helping with your self-esteem. So yeah, it wants to clear the mind.
yeah.
And Jophiel is a Monday. He's a Monday crystal. Oh, sorry, he's a Monday day of the week. The crystal is tiger eye and golden quartz. And he's got one of the wise men's scents, myrrh.
Mm,
Loves the myrrh.
yeah, I love myrrh.
Yeah,
So
I love myrrh
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And
Fantastic.
then this
And
leaves
then
us
yes. And then what was your last one? Sadkiel.
Zadkiel.
Hmm. Perfect. He actually comes in a lot for me when someone uh it's not grieving, like he helps with grief if someone's really badly grieving, but just
Mhm.
grief about, like sometimes I can get a mum in, a new mum, young mum, or not a young mum, but just a new mum, and they're grieving the life that they had, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
yes. Yeah,
So
because the life changed. Life's changed now. They brought the child into the world. What they had
yeah,
before is no longer what they've got. They've got responsibilities now. So the world's changed.
yes, very much so. So I find that he will come in and go, oh, it's like just place a piece over them to go, just for now, you're going to be a mum, a stay-at-home mum, and look after your children. And it's
Mhm.
not forever, like they're going to grow, but it's like he places a piece over them about that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
some mums, and it is a bit out there with the world where you sound really mean if you say, I hate being a mum. Like, you know,
yeah.
um, because there's some people that didn't get a chance to have children, so you don't want to sound nasty or self-centered, but it's a massive shell shock when you have a baby. I remember thinking, oh, I'm never going to go to the toilet on my own again.
And that's what it would be, Joe. It would be a complete upheaval in your with your life. You've
Mm,
got this little human being that's totally dependent on you, and what you used to do with your independence, you've lost it because you've now got a dependent child that wants to be with you or needs you until it can do things for itself. It
mm,
would be
mm.
very. I've never had children, and I can't even begin to understand what that would feel like. Does that make sense to have
Yeah,
this dependency replaced
yeah,
upon
very
you?
much. I mean, and I often say, I loved my kids and would have, when they were babies, would have done anything. I stayed at home, we breastfed, we did all the right things. But I really started to love them much more when they were like 5 and 7, when you could have a
Yeah,
little bit of adventure with them. We could go on holiday, great holidays. They could communicate better.
yeah.
So, yeah. And as a mum of a teenager, oh, love it. So, yeah,
No, but this is good, Joe. This is good because, and that's what Zadkiel can help you with. So he might
yeah,
be like a transitional archangel that helps you make a transition from one aspect of life to the next aspect of life because he sits up at the
perfect.
crown chakra. He's got the
Yeah,
violet flame that helps burn away the past if that holds you back. And then he
yeah,
can say, let's get on with that. Let's go with this.
yeah, yeah. What do your notes say about Archangel Sadkiel?
Yeah, that just sort of said Zadkiel, the violet flame, high frequency spiritual energy. It's like, oh, okay. To heal any records from the previous lifetimes as well,
Oh,
and to
yes,
transmute negative karmas and thoughts. So if you've got, heavy things going on, he can help you remove those and transmute that from a negative thought process to a more accepting or positive thought process. I did it for this purpose. I did it for this reason, and I can live with that. I'm okay with that. So
perfect.
very, very special archangel. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, that was
So
that.
they're the
This hour
7.
went very quick.
It did. Now he's a Saturday. Zadkiel is the Saturday of the week, and
Oh,
the crystals for him are the purple colored crystals, amethyst and purple fluorite. And the scent, because he's purple, it's lavender.
mm,
It's lavender. So very, very special. And if you like your archangels, you can buy stuff like these. These are little gift packs. This is all of your 7 archangels in an incense so that you can smell it. They've tied in all of the flowers and the smells and all of that sort of hoo-ha. But you can do all of that. So you can invite the archangels into your home through an invocation, just talking to them, or through the scent, or through a crystal. There's lots of, or through just a day of the week, whatever it might be. So bring them into your life. They only want to assist you, but they can't assist you unless you're ready for that assistance and you take that step.
And you ask.
Yeah, ask. Anything else that you would like to add to this archangel discussion, Joe?
So I always say, look, if you get confused and you're in a bit of a panic and you kind of go, I don't know who to call in, you can just sort of say, the divine creator, please call in the right archangel that I need today for this situation. And I always feel that they'll call in the right one for what you need.
I agree. Or they'll call in a team. If they can all do different aspects, they'll call in a team and then
Yeah.
off you go. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very, very special. So, guys, tell us who your favorite archangels are, or not favorite, because that's probably not the right word, but tell us who you would call in more frequently than not,
Yes.
which archangels you resonate more with than the others. Because it's
Yes.
always good for us to have a discussion about what you like, who you use, and tell us also, did you learn something new today about some of the archangels that you haven't connected with before? I
Yeah.
certainly have, and I'm going to be using, some of the archangels that Joe had mentioned before, like Marielle, to clear the pineal and up here. So let us know, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want to share the love.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you
guys.
for
Well,
doing
have a great week. We look
You
forward
too.
to you, Joe. Thank you very much. We look
Thank you.
forward to seeing you next week. And have a great week, everyone, and stay safe. Thanks for that. Bye.
Bye.